5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the penultimate episode of The Clingers Have Spoken. My name is Joel. That's my brother Michael through Zoom, and we are here to talk about the penultimate episode of Season 46 of Survivor. Michael, we went back to back to back to back. Idols going home, not played. One of the juiciest relationships of the season. What are you feeling right now? What's going on in your brain?
Not one. Not two, not three, 4 straight.
4.
Q, once again, like 2 out of the last 3, knew he was getting at least a vote.
Yeah.
You're getting a vote at Final 6, and you have an immunity idol. Play it. Play your immunity idols. I mean, I was happy that he didn't personally, because I was going to be so bummed out if my winner pick, Charlie, ended up going home tonight. And I thought Charlie was about to blow up his whole game when he brought Maria into that plan.
Yeah.
And Maria and Q thought they had it locked down. So, which I think is a testament to Charlie's game. The fact that, like, KENZIE and Liz and Ben, like, he had already laid all the groundwork. They didn't go along, even consider voting him out. They were immediately like, okay, if we can't vote Maria out, we're voting Q out. And for people that he's legally he's voted with, but he hasn't really gone with them over Maria much at all, if any, to this point. For them to, like, be riding with him that hard that they would even consider voting him at this point.
Yeah.
I think that's a testament to Charlie's game. I think Charlie is playing great. The whole episode tonight was about Maria versus Charlie, and neither of them went home.
Yeah. It's just like, at this point, I was terrified Charlie's going to go home. Once Q found the idol, I was like, oh man, what's going on here? This is bad. This is very bad. But then it's like, he would have gotten like such a huge edit to be voted out at 6. Like, and in my mind, I was like, man, are they just like thinking about, okay, well, we'll bring him back for Survivor 50. And he'll be like a key contributor or something. Like, I don't know. But man, like, it had to come to a head, and it did. And at the same time, the whole episode, they're like, I hate that I have to do this, but I have to get rid of this person. Both of them said that. And then at the same time, they're also saying, but I think this person really trusts me, and I don't think that they would come after me at all. And it's like, oh man, there was like cognitive dissonance there on both sides. They're like, I'm going to beat this person to the punch because, like, that the other person did such a good job of making them feel so safe in their relationship that they would never gun for each other. Like, that's a wild relationship to have on Survivor, where you're thinking, I'm going to blindside this person, and they'll never see it coming. And they both said that.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Charlie was much more like, I don't think Maria would ever vote me out. And she voted him.
Yeah.
Maria was like, what? Do I think Charlie would vote me out? Like, I don't know. Maybe he would. Like, I thought, like, the fact that it literally was about to happen to Charlie and he didn't know. And it was just a great episode of television. Some wonderful Q commentary, some great Q moments, a lot of awesome content for KENZIE, which I know Charlie's my winner pick, but I think KENZIE might be about to win Survivor.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible.
Like, if Charlie gets voted out, or Maria got, like, what I think is going to happen next episode, which we can talk about this episode, but like, I think Maria is going to get voted out at 5. And who's to say KENZIE can't win?
Yeah. Somebody's just got to beat Charlie in fire, you know?
Yeah.
And it seemed, because it feels like KENZIE was talking about Maria making fire tonight. And I don't know if Charlie can, or if any of those other people think it can. I think we saw Liz make fire at some point, and we saw Maria make fire the first episode. Like, I remember that was like a piece of why I wanted her to win, or I thought she was going to win, was because the first episode she's like, I'm a mom, I had 3 water births, no drugs, and I'm going to make this fire. And then they showed her make fire. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Especially to where we are now, where there are 4 people that voted together, and then Maria that lost her number 2 and voted for her number 1. Like, to me, if I'm on the island, I'm thinking Maria's not a threat to anybody. I think if we make it to the end, I don't think Maria's going to win anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Maria made a blunder tonight, which definitely lowers her winner threat level. And Charlie's went up with tonight's move.
Huge.
Because, like, he differentiated himself from Maria, and he was right, and she voted wrong. And so I think that it's kind of, Charlie's at least brought himself level with Maria in everyone's eyes, threat level-wise, or at least he should have. And my thing with Charlie, man, don't win reward challenges. Win immunity challenges. Like, it's time to start winning immunity challenges, not reward challenges.
Yeah, because I think, he gave too much effort in the reward challenge, right? You know, like, you should really sit down. What are you saying, man? Like, it's like
winning a reward challenge, like, you're going to have to choose people to go with you. So you're going to cause rifts, and you're raising your threat level, because then they're going to say, well, that guy, he can probably win immunity at Final 4 or Final 5. If he's a threat, we need to get him out whenever we can.
Yeah, I guess. I think it was good that he won reward. Like, in the way that he phrased it too was perfect, because those 3 people did not go on the reward last time. So he really didn't have to feel bad about anything. Everybody was like, oh yeah, it's Charlie. He's just making like a nice call, which I feel like is what they think he's been doing the whole time that he's been out there. Right?
Yeah.
Versus Maria, who had to make the call first and then got all the blame. So, like, I actually think it was perfect timing for Charlie to win a reward challenge. It might have been even better if he won the actual immunity challenge, but it kind of worked out perfect. Like, I think this episode could not have been any better for Charlie outside of telling Maria that the vote is on cue. Like, I think that's the only thing that he did wrong that could have bit him. But, like, everything worked out great for him because Maria is still this threat. Everyone else grabs a piece of this Q vote. Liz is going to claim that that's her Q vote because her and KENZIE were in the middle and she's been trying to get out Q for forever. Like, I don't know if they see that as, like, a Charlie vote, a Charlie threat, you know? So, like, it's just weird because Charlie almost died tonight and came out, I think, like, in the best shape he could possibly come out.
Yeah. Like, in some backwards way, him telling Maria about the Q vote, like, now that he didn't get voted out, which he easily could have with that, the fact that he didn't get voted out now puts him in a better spot because Maria still thinks she can have an ally with him. Now, if they had voted, like, if she was interpreting him voting Q as a shot against her, which it was, then maybe she wouldn't feel that way. But Maria's got nobody. She's got nobody. Yeah. Like, Charlie's her number one. So,
but like
she
Charlie's
needs
also
Charlie to
Ben
work with her,
and KENZIE's number one, and maybe Liz. Liz was talking about 3 power couples. I was trying to do the math in my head. I was like, well, if Ben's with Kenzie and Maria's with Q, does Liz think she's with Charlie? Like, because I know Kenzie thinks that Charlie is her number one. I know Ben thinks that Charlie is his number one. So Charlie has a plethora of options.
Yeah. What she said, that's his whole game. Options.
Yeah. Normally, like, the options, like, talk to each other and they, like, figure out that that's the situation. But that doesn't appear to be happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, the options all are kind of like, I don't want to work with so-and-so. That's like, there's just too many. Charlie and others did such a good job this season, and Kenzie, of keeping Q in the game, keeping Venus in the game. Like, all of those votes after the merge where it could have been Venus or it could have been Q, but instead they were just using that as a smoke screen to vote out people like Tevin, Hunter, Tiffany. All of those votes leading to this, the fact that they had Q and Venus on the board to still get rid of, like, I don't see a world where Kenzie isn't in the final 3. Maybe she loses a fire making challenge.
Yeah.
But I think Ben would take her. I think Liz would take her. I think she would take probably like Liz. I don't know. There's a lot of worlds I see where Kenzie's sitting at the final 3. And also, who wouldn't take Ben or Liz to the final 3?
Right. Liz is a millionaire and Ben exists.
Like, maybe Ben will get taken out at fire making or something because they're like, everybody likes Ben, so maybe they would just give him $1 million just because. Like, I don't know.
That would be if Ben won this season. Some fans would stop watching. Like, I feel pretty convinced that some fans would stop watching it if Ben won this season. Because Ben has done nothing. Like, Ben has played a little game with Charlie at Sega Camp and had night terrors and made a bunch of music-themed conversation. You know, like, that's the one person I'm like, there's no shot he's winning. Liz is a millionaire. Well, I give her the money.
I don't think there's any shot Liz or Ben wins.
Yeah, so it's
the
just a
math
question
of
of
it
like,
all. If there's going to be 3 people there, I don't think they have a chance.
Yeah, it's just a question of who gets there. And I think that's interesting. Also, like, almost half the jury is the Orange Tribe, right? So, like, 3 of the 7 or 8 people that are on there now are from the Orange Tribe. Liz is going to join them. Actually, 4 of them. So, like, half the jury. So, like, but Liz backstabbed all of them. Every single one of them. So why would they vote Liz? You know?
Well, and they didn't perceive her as, like, a threat when she was in the game. Like, that perception isn't gonna have changed based on anything that's really happened. Like, they didn't view her as, like, a major player in the game when she was in the game, and now I don't think that anything has happened that would change that. So Liz has no chance. This is what I would consider doing if I'm Kenzie. I would consider putting Ben on the jury, or Liz on the jury, because I think they'd vote for me. Like, at this point, you need to consider, like, who that's still in the game would vote for me to win. Which, like, if I'm Charlie, I'm like, I think Maria would vote for me if I voted her out. Yeah. You know, at this point, like, if I got rid of her, like, I think I'd have her vote. I don't know, like, who Q would vote for. I have no idea who Q would vote for. But, like, Tiffany's probably going to vote for Kenzie if she's sitting there. You know, and then Nami, I think that's all, like, pretty random. Like, I don't know who they really know or care or whatever with the people that are left in the game when you take Liz out of the picture.
I feel like they would probably vote with Charlie. I would think they'd vote with Charlie. Like, most of them worked with Charlie at some point or another. Like, I think if Charlie makes the final three, this is going to be one of the most dominant votes in a season. Period. Like, I don't care who you put with Charlie. I think that he would run the table. Like, I don't know. Even if Maria made it to the end with Charlie, I think people like Charlie more. Or at least that's what they're showing us. Right? Like, I don't, like, Q might vote for Maria if Maria is still there. But that's pretty much it, in my opinion. Like, yeah. I think, and it's so interesting because this season is much like it's a different season. Like, it's not so much about gameplay. Like, it's not cutthroat. They're not, like, gunning after each other. This is, like, a vibes season. And I think that a lot of players missed that. You know, we have Tevin and we have Liz and we have Maria and we have Venus talking about, I made this move. I needed to get this person out of the game. But, like, it doesn't feel like that is really what's going to get people to the end. Like, Charlie's probably going to make it to the end because he made the right connections with people. Kenzie is going to probably make it to the end because she made the right connections with people. And they didn't stop making connections, right? And it wasn't always like, I have to make my move now. It's like, I need to have options. I need to build rapport with people. I need to get people to trust me. And I like seeing this season of Survivor where it's not so much about moves, where the people that are still left are there because they just built the bridges that they needed to build. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Charlie and Kenzie have, like, they've taken very different journeys, but they've kind of embraced the same principles to get where they are. It's like, be flexible, manage your threat level, strategize enough to feel like you're a driving force in the game, but don't overdo it like Venus. Like, they've ridden that line really, really well. And like Maria, she's officially overplayed. Like, tonight, as soon as you overplay and it's a miss, if it's an overplay but you're hitting every time and you've got the social equity to make all of those moves, like, you're going to win. But as soon as you take a big swing this late in the game and miss, now you're kind of playing defense the rest of the time. Like, if I'm Maria, now I'm looking like, okay, I've somehow got to convince Ben and Liz that the three of us don't stand a chance against Charlie. You know, how do I convince the other four people here we don't have a chance against Charlie? How do I convince the other two people that we don't stand a chance against Kenzie? Like, that's her game now. No more is it like, I'm running the game, blah, 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 blah. It's like, hey, us 3 weak people left, like 3 lowest profile. We've got to take them out. And you've got to convince them, the other 2 people, that, like, you're the person they want to go to the end of the game with. It's like the crazy thing about Survivor is, like, now that we're at Final 5, like, the power kind of shifts to the GOATs. Like, they have votes. And, like, they try to take that out with the Final 4 fire making challenge. So, but, like, for this next vote, like, the power lies with Ben and Liz and Kenzie. And they are the people that had the power tonight. Like, these are the people that had the power tonight. And so it'll be interesting. I'm excited to watch it. I still think, like, Charlie, I would say I'm like 60% he's going to win. Kenzie, I would give 30%, and Maria 10%.
Yeah. Yeah, just judging off the edit, I really don't think Maria's going to win. She's played a great game up until tonight. Like, And that's what I'm talking about. Like with the building bridges, I feel like she overplayed. Like she thought that she could still manipulate votes. Like she could manipulate the votes of people that have only worked with her out of convenience. Right? And it's like she didn't really see, oh, these people are like connected with Charlie. Like a decent amount. Because really she just thought that she just had blind faith that Liz and Kenzie were going to vote with her. And I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that she didn't tell Q, hey, Charlie just told me your name. She just said, you're probably going to get one or two votes. But like, I would be like, Q, I don't know. Your name's out there, and it's just whether you trust Kenzie and Liz. Because they're who's voting with us. So if you want to play your idol, play your idol. If you don't. I don't know. Like, I think she was so insanely confident that she would just whip those votes so easily.
I think Maria's game was going good, and she just got a little bit out ahead of her skis, and that's what happens, you know. She's not the first person to fall victim to a little bit of overconfidence. I think it should have been a huge red flag to Q whenever he went to Liz and he went to Kenzie and said, hey, you know what we should do is we should vote Charlie out. And Liz simply said, sounds good to me.
No, like, hey, let's talk about it for a second.
Yeah. No, like, oh, that would be a huge move. Like, wow. Yeah, no, let's do that. No. Ooh, yeah,
let's count
I guess
the votes.
Like I'd be good, like nothing like that. Just like, sounds good. Let's do it. And then he just got up and walked away and just assumed that they both were going to vote with him.
When
then Maria had like such a short interaction with them too, and just like, yeah, what do you guys think about that? Yeah, like he's probably going to beat us at the end. Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah, let's do that.
They were not very believable. Like, they were not super... There was no conversation. They were just like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
But, like, you wouldn't think that Charlie knew that he was getting votes, or he wouldn't have told Maria, right?
No. I don't think he knew. Like, maybe the Maria and Q telling Liz and Kenzie was like pretty late. So like maybe the Charlie telling Q beforehand was like, I don't know. So did Kenzie and Liz just not tell him? Like they had to not tell him by the way he reacted at Tribal, right? Like that's wild, you know?
The thing I always wonder is like, what did Charlie and Q talk about? You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Like what were they
talking?
Like,
did they mention Liz?
I guess they both would have said Liz. That seems to be the person that like was the main, like the original plan that the three of them had discussed. Charlie, Maria, and Q. So I guess they would have said, it's Liz tonight, right? Yeah, it's Liz.
Yeah. Like, Ben also, like, because, I don't know. We've seen so many seasons of Survivor and episodes of Survivor where the two people on the bottom talk to each other, or the two people on the opposite sides talk to each other, and then one of them freaks out and does something crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, they didn't even show them having any type of conversation. Where I feel like Q, even though he said he was in power now, the last 3 episodes, he's kind of just laid by himself, and then Maria's just told him who to vote for. So it's like he was just like, oh, I have this power now, but I don't really have to work that hard anymore. So maybe he just didn't want to talk to Charlie to not think that he was like freaking out or something. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We'll see what happens next week. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. So you think Maria gets voted out? and then
Yeah.
maybe Ben.
They're talking about getting Maria out before fire making, so assuming Maria doesn't win immunity, which she very well could, I would say they vote Maria next. And then, then it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
But I think Charlie is probably going to win an immunity challenge. That's Ben, Charlie, Kenzie, and Liz. Like, honestly, Kenzie's like the only one who might challenge for that. Ben has been terrible in challenges and absolutely fumbled tonight's immunity challenge. Like, that dude had half that dolphin put together and then just like couldn't put another piece, and then Maria put like 8 or 10 pieces, like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Well, I think what Maria did was she dumped them all out, and since she was the first one there, she's like, I have time, I'm going to organize them. Because she put that fish together in no time. So, like, I think she just laid out all of the fish ones, like, separate. And then when she built the base, she just went... That's what it seemed like to me. Yeah, I think the thing is, like, Maria and Charlie have the most game equity, but also I feel like they're the strongest challenge competitors, too. So, like...
Yeah.
It's just a matter of which one wins next week. Like, which one wins the final 5 one. And then that could determine everything, right? The crazy thing is, like, we just had this whole conversation where Charlie comes out looking amazing. If Maria just tells Q to play his idol for himself, what happens? Like, does Maria win? Does Kenzie win?
Oh, I mean, if that had happened, where Charlie goes home tonight instead of Q, Maria and Q are still in the minority, but they both have a better chance of winning immunity. And I think Ben, Kenzie, and Liz would probably vote for whichever one of them didn't win immunity.
Yeah.
And if they had both won immunity, or both lost immunity, they probably would have voted Maria out. But we were robbed of a final 4 of Q, Kenzie, Liz, and Ben. I would have loved to see Q at Final Tribal Council.
Q, Liz, and Ben would have been an iconic Final Tribal. Like, what would we have done if that was where we were? Like, I would be tempted to vote for Q, honestly.
Q has to win at that point.
I think Liz should win if that was the final 3, because Liz has been in so many votes. But Q is amazing. Like, I need Q back really bad.
Q is he's got to be on Survivor 50.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to be the person from this season that gets the invite first. And then maybe, if a Charlie doesn't win or if a Kenzie doesn't win, maybe them. But it's got to be, Q's got to get the first call about Survivor 50.
Yeah. Man. Wow. So you got Charlie winning? I think I have Charlie winning. Yeah, percentages, I don't know. I'm probably like 80% Charlie, 10% Kenzie, 10% Maria. Like, Charlie is hogging. I need to see, like, the data on the Charlie screen time and the Charlie confessionals, because I feel like it's getting out of hand.
There's people on Twitter that keep up with that. It's honestly not as crazy, like, as much as you'd think.
Maybe it just feels like it. I don't know.
Like, when you consider how much screen time Q was getting, and you consider, like, Maria, the last couple episodes has gotten a ton of screen time, a ton of confessionals. Kenzie gets a lot of confessionals that are not strategy. Like, yes. I think she gets the most, like, social game, like, personal growth, like, that type of stuff. But, like, when it game-related, Charlie does get a lot. He probably will finish the season with the most if he wins. But yeah, man, next week is going to be fun. I still think Charlie's going to win, but it'll be good.
Yeah. Anything else on the penultimate episode of Survivor, season 46?
Not that I can think of.
All right. We could talk about the NBA playoffs. We could talk about the Kendrick Drake beef. I'll offer that one up again.
We could talk about the Tennessee Titans 2024 schedule.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're opening up against Caleb Williams, which is pretty fun.
Let's walk through it. All right.
Do a quick
I'll pull it up. All right, I got it right here.
Yeah.
All right, week 1 at Chicago. Win
That's
or
a L.
loss?
That's
You
an
think
L
that-
for sure.
For the Titans?
Yeah.
No, that's a win for the Titans. All right, so you've got them at 0-1. I've got them at 1-0. Home against the Jets.
That's a win for sure.
I've got that as a win as well. So I'm 2-0. You're 1-1. All right, Green Bay at home.
That's a L. That's
a
an L
loss
for me.
It's a loss for me too. All right, I've got them at 2-1. You're 1-2. At Miami.
That's a loss.
That's a loss for me also. So I've got them at 2-2 going into their week 5 bye week. You've got them at 1-3.
1-3. Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you have them beating the Jets but losing to the Bears.
Yeah, man, Rodgers is washed.
Make it make
For sure.
sense.
Nah, man.
Week 6, Indianapolis at home.
I'm going to go loss.
I'm going to go win on that one. Coming off a bye, I've got him at 3-2 after 6 weeks. You've got him at 1-4.
Correct.
All right. At Buffalo.
That's a loss.
It's a loss. It's a loss in my opinion also.
That's
All
a
right.
close loss. I think that's a close loss, but I think it's a loss.
All right. I've got him at 3-3. You've got him at 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
So you think Buffalo sucks?
No, I just think the Titans have always been inconsistent in my life, and I'm kind of going off of that.
I've got one, random L in here too. But I'll let you know when we get there. At Detroit.
That's a loss.
I've got loss also. So I've got him at 3-4. You've got him at 1-6. Home
Yes.
against New England.
That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win right there. All right. I've got him at 4-4. You've got him at 2-6. At the Chargers.
That's a win.
I have a win there as well, which is going to put it at 5-4 for me, I think.
3-6 for me.
3-6 for you. At home against Minnesota, I've got a win.
That's a win.
All right, so I've got him at 6-4. You've got him at 4-6. At Houston.
That's a win.
Wow, that's a loss for me. So I've got him at 6-5. You've got him at 5-6.
Yeah.
At Washington.
That's a win.
I've got a loss for that one. That's my random, what just happened loss. Okay, so that's
where I think the Titans are going to go on a 5-game winning streak. They're going to catch heat in the middle of the season.
Oh my. Okay, so I've got us now at 6-6, I think.
Me too.
All right. Jacksonville at home.
That's a win. That's a win.
I've got a loss there. So that's 6-7. You've got them at 7-6.
Yes.
Home against Cincinnati. I've got a loss.
That's a loss.
All right. 6-8 for me. 7-7 for you. At Indianapolis, I've got that as a loss.
That's a win.
You say that's a win. So
Yeah,
that puts
8-7.
me at 6-8. Is that right?
7 and 8 or 6 and 9. One of those.
7 and 8, I think, is what I've got. Yeah. At Jacksonville, I've got a loss.
That's a win.
All right, so I've got them at 7 and 9. You've got them at
9 and 7.
And then Houston at home.
And that's a loss.
A loss to miss the playoffs is what you've got.
Yep.
I've got another loss. So I've got us at 7 and 10. You've got us at 9 and 8.
Yeah.
Like my ambitious take is, like, my hopeful take is 10 and 7. I did not think our schedule was going to be this hard.
It's not that bad.
Playing against the AFC East sucks. Like the Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins. That's 3
ideally
losses,
you get one
in
of
my
those.
opinion.
And the Patriots should be a win.
I've got us basically splitting against the Jags and the Colts, losing twice to the Texans, losing 3 of 4 to the AFC East, and splitting against the AFC North. So, the NFC North.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It should be fun, man. I'm just hoping Levis stays healthy. That's my one hope for this year. Like, I hope he's good, and I hope he stays healthy. Wins and losses, I don't really care about.
Yeah, I care about wins and losses, and I want Will Levis to be healthy, and I want Will Levis to get wins. It's crazy, like, listening and reading stuff, listening to national media podcasts, reading stuff. These dudes all think that the Titans are going to win like 2 or 3 games. And the Titans have the second best odds for the first overall pick.
That would be so sad if the Titans spent all this money and finished second to last.
Yeah.
That would actually be crazy.
It's on the table, but...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And we hope to see you next week as we wrap up season 46 of Survivor. We're thrilled about it. Let us know who you're rooting for in the comments of Twitter or YouTube. And we'll see you then. We spoke.
See ya.